Anywho, I just thought I would hop on here for another special edition of a Diva Disturb. Y'all know I'll be trying to do this on Fridays, but I figure whenever the mood hits me, I'm just gonna start hopping on here and talking. Cause baby, today, today, every day I wake up and today's gonna be a great day. And I picked this up from somebody on social media. I don't remember who it is now, but I always say, God, show me just how good life can get. But in the meantime, in between time, in this world that we live in, a lot is going on. Okay, because it's just making me start waking up and say, what's going on? What's going on? Because, I mean, it is just too much going on in our world today where it's like chaos and confusion and none of us know which way is up and where we going. It's like everything going off, anything and everywhere. So this is why Miss Sophia the Diva hopped on here tonight. I'm hoping that more people will join the conversation. I've put it on all of my social media platforms, although given the subject, the nature of the subject, more likely than not, we could be experiencing some blackballing or whatever. But y'all, today I got a text message from one of my friends and I was livid because I was just talking to a friend today. I was heading back to the office from a client meeting and I was just like, you got to be shitting me. So Jimmy Kimmel got canceled for in his opening monologue saying things that the right wing, extreme right wingers believe to be ill spoken of their beloved. I guess he's their martyr, their mascot. I don't know at this point what Charlie Kirk is for these people, but it's sick and sadistic and divisive. And we get it, it's all part of Project 2025. But never in a million years did I think that, what's his name, George Orwell's book would come to life. Was it 1984? Because that's really what's happening. And everyone also knows that this also is starting to look a lot like how the Third Reich took over. So I don't know if anybody else is like wondering what the hell is going on, but we know what's going on. We know it's all part of the Heritage Foundation's playbook. But at the same time, when it's happening in real time, you're kind of shocked and dismayed that it's happening. And I was telling one of my besties today that it almost feels like every law has gone asunder with the exception of the Second Amendment. They don't recognize the First Amendment. I and I even called Angry Wig the Jerry Jones of politics. He in everybody's business and branches but his own. Okay, every time we look up, he's the fastidious intermeddler in the legislative branch. He's the he in the judiciary. It's just, uh, yes, Penelope, I know, but we gotta talk about this politics stuff first. But we're gonna get into that too, because I'm gonna fall on my proverbial sword and say I understand. So walk with me, talk with me. But it's like they act like the Second Amendment is the only amendment they care about. I'm like, baby, it's called freedom of speech. And then you have the highest ranking legal official in the United States, Pam Bondi, up here misconstruing what free speech and hate speech is, because it's not about what we know and what we understand to be law. It is about what they can misconstrue for the unintelligent. The people who willingly believe any rhetoric that they spew out of their mouths. Okay? You don't have to have common sense you don't have to have book sense, I should say, to have the wherewithal to know that they are misleading you and y'all are like sheep to slaughter. Free speech. You got freedom of the press, freedom of religion, and all of that is being erased, or Congress is acquiescing in what it is that they want to do because they control the House and they control the Senate. And Today was just another egregious act. They've gotten Colbert off the air. Now Jimmy Kimmel's, because of his opening monologue. I haven't listened to it, but I know what it is. It's comedy. Comedians for the past, let's see, I started doing stand up in 2021. So there are certain, hello artists, hello K Shifty, hi Jackie. Uh we've been censored for our commentary. And the whole point of being a comedian is that we comment on things. Basically, we say what everyone is thinking, even if it offends people. Uh, Somebody say rest in peace. I'm not gonna repeat that one. Hey, my Icelandic person! I can't wait to one day come visit there. I want to go to Iceland. I had a classmate in law school that was from Iceland, but I lost contact with her. She was such a nice girl. That was the best graduation party ever at her house. Um, anyway, I just can't believe that. First of all, y'all, let me go in on the head of the FCC. Now, back in the day, I used to know one of the commissioners that was on the FCC. As a matter of fact, I tried to get a job at the FCC because I can't hear your live. Can y'all not hear me? Penelope, are you still there? Can you hear me? Oh God, please don't tell me y'all can't hear me. Okay, can you? Yeah, you can hear me. Artist said he can't, or he or she. Artist Dudley can't hear your live. You from? I don't know. Um, but if you can hear me, we're cool. Then I don't know if this person, maybe it's their connection. I don't know. But the fact that Brendan Carson, I think that's his name. First of all, y'all, I saw a picture, dude. I don't have the high tech stuff just yet. Once I get settled in my new place, because this is my temporary place since I had to relocate here for my new work. But Brendan Carr, who is an attorney, he has threatened ABC's license. He told them that their license could be pulled if they didn't do something about Jimmy Kimmel. Well, Brendan, I want to know, who are you licensed to practice with? What states are you registered to practice in? Because maybe we can go after your bar license and then you can't practice law legally. How about that? Because and then y'all, he said he was born in 1979. I said, I'll meet at this time and not tap your screen. Goodbye. Okay, bye, artists. Have a good one. I don't know. They said they couldn't hear me and they won't be subscribing. I don't know what that was about, but that was. I'm sorry, y'all. This man talking about. So I'm team 1977. Okay, I'm 48 years old. January I will be 49. And sadly, this man is a fellow Capricorn. Okay, this fool was born January 5th, born in 1979. This person said, "You are a bad host. You not nice or polite." Okay, well, artists, I'm sorry if you can't hear me. I'm sorry if you feel like someone is hurting. Hey, don't be hating on us Capricorns. We're great people. Penelope, I see you. I see you for your works. I'm sorry if you think I'm a bad host, but I'm not polite, not nice or polite. What makes me, I'm curious to see if this person is still on here. Please tell me what makes me not nice and polite. All my friends and family think I'm a great person and a great personality. Y'all, he was born in 1979 and he looked like he about 79. Um, he is 46 years old. He was born January 5th, 1979. Go look up Brendan Carr, chairman of the Federal Communications Commission of the United States. This is the fool who went after Jimmy Kimmel and threatened ABC's license. So ABC license bent the knee and now we ain't got no more Jimmy Kimmel. Okay. So he graduated from Georgetown and he went to the Catholic University of America. But I want to know who he's licensed to practice. What happened with Jimmy Kimmel? Hey, Toothpick. Jimmy Kimmel's show has been canceled indefinitely by ABC due to the FCC saying that due to comments about Charlie Kirk, they want to pull his license. I don't know. We are a democratic republic. We are not an authoritarian government. We are not communist. We are not. This is America. This is the melting pot. We are the home of the free and the brave, but now we are not free to be anything in this country at this point. Um, I don't know what was wrong with that. Yes, yes. Aren't we an oligarchy? At this point, we are. We're ran by multi-billionaires who run this country who have bent the knee. Unlike at this point, all of the liberal, wealthy people like Mark Cuban, Warren Buffett, what's his name, Robert Smith, y'all need to get together. All of y'all need to get together and have a meeting of some sort and create your own media conglomerate. Because people like Jeff Bezos and what's his name, Rudolph Murdoch and all of them, they're just gonna do whatever they want to do. Ben from Ben and Jerry's, he done had to step. Jerry done had to step down because and this is what happens when you're a publicly traded company and you get a board. They don't give a damn. They can get rid of you at any given time. But I'm like, you knew at the time. Ben and Jerry are hippies. Of course they're about free love and speech and everyone do whatever they want to do. Live your best life. Just don't hurt nobody. And now we're constantly being inflicted daily. I mean, they are really trying to beat us down, okay, to where we will bend the knee. And they have a group of people who are not brilliant. Okay, let me tell you how they. I've been saying this. People say the leopards are eating your face, but we also say the old school saying, which I think is from Greek philosophy, some people will cut off their nose to spite their face. Rural America is feeling it right now. My former senator, and I worked on his first campaign to get him elected. I think that was his only campaign right now, but I think he's running again. But John Ossoff just posted, let me see if I can pull up my stories on my Facebook. But he just said in Northeast Georgia, one of the hospitals is having to close its labor and delivery department because of Medicaid cuts. Now women who go into labor have to drive an hour ahead, an hour away from their homes in that area because they have to go have their children delivered elsewhere. Hate got us here, people. And I know at this point, even if all of us had voted for Kamala and the Minnesota governor, they probably still would have figured out a way to win the election. Because it was rigged. He said it out loud. He said it multiple times. Elon helped him win. And some other dude named Jimmy or George or somebody. And Congress is just sitting back and letting it happen. And like one of my friends said today, what it is that they finally have someone who is not afraid to live out their racist life. They just released this grant to address that. They take something away and give it back like they are doing people a favor. And that's what he does. He breaks things and claims they were broken. And then he wants to be the hero. I have never seen someone who must have had an emotionally absent parent who craves attention so badly. I mean, we have a top tier toddler running this country, okay? We do. And I'm so glad that our parent country, our former parent country, the original colonizers, England, Some of their people put up Epstein pictures on the castle walls showing Angry Wig and his former best friend Jeffrey Epstein together and partying with these young women and girls. By the time they get done tearing up this country, America's going to be damn near bankrupt. And it's because there is going to have to be huge payouts from all these lawsuits that are coming down the pipeline. This will not stand. America was not built like this. And then on top of that, they buddy in Israel getting ready to get brought up on war crimes and human rights violations. Hell, technically, Angry Wig's regime is doing it too. They are trying to starve people. They are wrongfully deporting people. They are violating treaties. They are violating the Constitution. I mean, honestly, the Constitution don't exist anymore unless it's just the Second Amendment. All they care about is guns and bombs. And it's unfortunate. It is very unfortunate. I have never seen people fall for spin doctors. It's weird. It's like if we tell you the sky is blue and all of us know what the color blue is, and if they say, it's red, you understand? If you say it's blue, we're going to deport you. We're going to lock you up. And that's pretty much what it is. And all of this now at this point is because of what? Epstein files. But we already know he's in it. Two people we know for sure. Prince Andrew and Angry Wig. They in it. Now, whoever else was in there, just like one of my friends was saying, oh my God, Bill Clinton is there. I really don't think that Bill, personally, and maybe I'm a little biased because I did work. That was the very first political campaign I worked on, and it was not. I didn't know anything about Democrats or Republicans because you know what? I was raised in a time when we respected the office of the president. They may not have had all the answers. They may not have done everything right, but guess what? We were taught in school. That's the president of the United States, and you be respectful. And all of the politicians were respectful. Now they'll just yell out anything and say anything. I'm like, the disrespect. There's no decorum. I'm like, some of y'all were participation trophy children, weren't you? Let's see. The way Israel is integrated into all our governments, even at the state level, is crazy. It is. And Toothpick said, did you see Trump trying to take Greenland from Denmark? That was all just rhetoric for him to get a rise out of people. It was a predication upon what was to come, which is what we're in now, the takeover of America. And I don't know what they're talking. What are you taking back? Because y'all trying to eradicate and erase history, but we all know none of us, with the exception of people who are native, none of us. Somebody asked me, do you think they're going to deport black people? I said, no. We here. And some of us were here before colonization happened. Quiet as it's kept because people just think all the black people were in Africa. If you really look at how the continents are formed, you can see we used to be one mass piece of land and it got split up over time. However many years that was. January 6th is very interesting to me because if y'all notice, a lot of the people that were insurrectionists, a lot of them are meeting a very deadly fate. You may have gotten off on the federal level, but you can't get off on the state level. And that's the other thing. I said, they act like the 10th Amendment don't exist either. How are you activating the National Guard for states when we have state rights? States have police power over themselves. If the state of Tennessee felt like Memphis was so bad, or if the state of Illinois felt like Chicago was so bad, if California felt like Illinois, LA and Southern Cal was so bad, they would activate the National Guard. That's what they trained for. Relief efforts, peacekeeping efforts. None of that is going on. Like to the extent that they want to make it. DC, same thing. But yet and still, and then that's what I don't understand. Y'all keep letting him get this Sharpie with that over the meadows and through the hills signature he be giving all the time. And y'all just let it ride. That's not law. There are certain things have to be legislated. They can't just be like a whip up a pen. Yes, the executive branch has some powers, but not all powers. Not like that. You can't just up and say, I'm going to rename buildings and ships and stuff because I don't like these people. Why do people like this crown? Because these people are ratchet. Mm-hmm. That's how I see it. That's the only word that comes to mind. Ratchet, ghetto, thugs. That's what it is. That's their attitude. They don't like law and order. They like chaos. They want to do what they want to do. They don't want to honor thy neighbor. They don't want to be their brother's keeper. Even though they quick to say, "Oh, I love the Bible." You love the Bible, but you don't love God. And if you say you a Christian, you definitely not living Christ-like. But this is what we own these days, and this is what we've been dealt. And how we got here is all because people hated the fact that at a time when we needed it most, there came President Obama, a black man. Heaven forbid that we should get to the White House. Hell, we built it. Our ancestors built it. Why not? Yeah, they want somebody as ignorant. That's why I said, listen, I grew up in a time when I had to go to the card files in the library and use the Dewey Decimal System to find books that I wanted and to do my research. I had Britannica encyclopedias. There is a whole internet created by Al Gore. Let me stop. No, y'all can get on Al Gore's internet and look up whatever information you want. And now with AI, it can tell you what's fact and what's not. Especially, I use Google Gemini myself personally. And people didn't do it. I don't know what platform it was on, but there was a show called Dirty Money, a docuseries that featured all these people who had done corrupt stuff. And of course, Angry Wig was featured on it because remember when he was building that casino in Atlantic City and it went bankrupt and he purposely filed bankruptcy so he wouldn't have to pay these people? It's corrupt. He was corrupt. Oh, he's a good businessman. Like I told people, my suspicions about Angry Wig is that he was what I call rich broke. He holds a lot of assets that need to be liquidated in order for him to even get the value out of them. Real estate. And he probably can't get rid of that because most of that stuff is probably in a trust of some sort, probably wrapped up in LLC wrappers and layered on top with the trust too. And he can't sell it. There may be terms in there, and the only way he could do it is to go to court, which he can't afford to. But he's probably rich broke, and that's why we'll never see his tax returns. You know. But they love him. We broke. We about to lose our farm, but we gonna ride it out with Angry Wig. Latinos had a whole theme song. Not all of them, because I know my Latino homegirls and homeboys did not vote for this. Nor did some of my Asian brothers and sisters either. They didn't vote for this. But the ones who did, because they thought they were bigger and badder and ascended to a level where, oh no, we're untouchable. We came in the country the right way. They don't care. Hell, they were messing with Native Americans. Because guess what? They look Latino, so here they come. So, you know, I just delusion. Trump might just start a second civil war. He's trying to. Actually, what they're trying to do is start a race war. They are trying, and like Joy and Reed said today, what more do they want? You got rid of DEI. You got rid of minorities, women out of these positions. You put podcasters in power. What does Cash Patel know about law enforcement? I swear, every time I look at that man, he look like he just shooting from around the corner. One eye over here, one eye over there. As a matter of fact, he looked like he ain't blinked in some centuries. I said, is it cocaine? And then he got mad at that one senator for asking him a question, and he just crashed out right there doing a hearing while you under oath, just lying. It's okay for them to do, but it is not okay for us to do. Like, they are going after anyone who said anything ill against Charlie Kirk. They're trying to get them fired. I'm like, for what? What are you getting people fired for? The man said what he said. It's on his podcast. It's in these speeches. Like I told somebody, y'all begging for him to get empathy, but he said he don't even believe in the word empathy. It doesn't exist. A community college dropout. Y'all just gonna risk it all for him. And then you got Candace Owen over here crying and shit. Somebody said, what was it? Oh, somebody posted sometime about, you see how hard little Kim was crying about Biggie and he was married to Faith. Let that sink in. Oh. But I'm going to get off of that. But I do want y'all to be aware that Brendan Carr, the head of the FCC, told ABC, we're going to pull your license if you don't get rid of Jimmy Kimmel, basically. You the head of the Federal Communications Commission. Your first priority should be the First Amendment. But Brendan, we gonna find out where you licensed to practice. I ain't got no license. I just got a JD. I ain't got a license, so I ain't worried about mine getting pulled. But you should be. You may not be practicing law, but you do have to follow a moral code. Isn't that what the canons teach us? I'm just saying. Y'all gonna FAFO one of these days. And when it all falls down, we all gonna be standing there and be like, we told you so. Y'all out here lynching young black men and white men too. 2 men down in Mississippi been lynched. A black student, it was at Delta State in Mississippi, and then another white dude lynched over the weekend. And then you're pulling funding from HBCUs, and then you're trying to make it black people's fault why Charlie Kirk was murdered, when clearly the sheep, the sacrificial lamb that y'all came up with, Tyler, I forgot what his last name is. I still don't think that young man did that. I don't. It's a lot of staging, and I don't know. It's just a weird time. Cardi B. Penelope wanted me to talk about Cardi B and wants me to eat my words. Okay, Cardi B is pregnant by Stephon Diggs, Mr. Baby Making Machine himself. And a page that I follow, they be harsh with their truth, but it be true. Your problematic faves said that this man has multiple baby mamas. He has children that have not even attained the age of 1 yet. And now Cardi B is baby mama number 4. And you thought Offset was terrible. Because I'm thinking they've been together for a minute. And that means that, but then too, maybe, here's my thing. Some of us are open to being in an open relationship or a situationship or a friends with benefits situation. And maybe that was Cardi B's stance on the matter. That's all I got on that. And she's okay with having a child outside of outside of her relationship with Offset. A 3 month old. Okay, I knew it was something, but it's just terrible. And I'm just like, I hope it works out for you because I don't want you to be on here crying. And I wish she would use condoms like diseases are very much a problem. Girl, these celebrities just be out here passing stuff around from what I understand. Um, I don't know, but I'm gonna pray for Cardi B. I like Cardi B. I like because I think that people counter out, and yes, her views on certain things are sus, but I do like her. I've liked her ever since I was introduced to her on Love and Hip Hop, the original. Um, so y'all remember a couple of episodes ago we discussed this singer, which I started listening to some of his music today just so I could have a framework of where his mind is. Very emo music. This dude named Difford, Diffordy. I don't know, but David. She's authentic, but the way she was going after Tara and that girl, what was the reason? What was the reason? Cardi B. I love her. And they said even before she like really blew up, she was always doing like the videos we see right now and how she's hustling to make her album sales. That's authentic. That's who she's always been. She's always been that girl. Um, but y'all remember this R&B singer or singer, um, David. I don't know how he's pronouncing his name, but y'all remember the body the decomposing body found in a Tesla in L.A. Baby, her name is Celeste Rivas. She was 15, and the official cause of death has been listed as deferred right now. People on Instagram are like, when is he gonna be arrested? He has a song called Romantic Homicide. They said he released that on the day that girl came up missing or the body was. I don't know. I don't know anything about it, but I listen to his music. Like I said, it's very emo and depressing and not on the Sade level. Like Sade make you want to go get some wine and soak in the tub. He make you really contemplate, do you want to be here? Okay. Now, we don't know all the facts, Penelope. Penelope, we tend to know all the facts, but people on like yourself are commenting that why isn't he in jail? That girl was underage. Now she was a runaway. She's one of these teenagers that run away. I don't know what they running away from and what they run into. I have a friend right now who's 17-year old just she ready for to be an adult so bad. Got all the privileges in the world and just running. They think she was trafficked. They say it gives demonic. I could see that too. It's very dark, and I'm trying to think who does it remind. There's someone else on that level, but I mean, it just depends on your mood. It's not bad. I mean, it's definitely not bad compositions, but it's very dark. Uh, very dark songs. Like I said, Sade make you want to get some wine and get in the tub and say, Calgon, take me away. He makes you wonder if I take these pills, will they take me away? Seriously. And I don't joke about suicide because I lost a very dear friend to it. And to this day, I still mourn his death because I wish I had paid more attention. But she ran away. She was known as a consistent runaway. And, but the police really aren't saying, uh, what's happening, and they say that his team hasn't said anything, so we're just waiting on how this investigation is going and if he's gonna be arrested. Yeah, girl, it was 4th of July weekend 2017. Never forget that. I got a text message from one of our other mutual friends. He was a coworker, and then he went on to go practice law. He was one of the best criminal defense attorneys, and The story is this: he had an identical twin, and they were very much in tandem. 5 years to the date that his twin took his life, he followed. So, very sad. And some days I think about my friend and I cry because he was like family to me. He was the one friend when I started doing comedy. He hated commuting. Okay, he hated coming from West LA down to Long Beach or Orange County. But you know what? He would show up for me to watch me perform. He did. And oh God, I'm about to start getting teary eyed now. And I miss him. And he was obsessed with Starbucks. And that was the last text message we had. I said, hey, we need to get together and go get Starbucks one day when you come down to the Long Beach courthouse. He was like, yeah. He used to always call me Age. That was what he would call me. He would call me Age. And I miss my friend. I do. So, um, but David, baby, I hope you didn't have nothing to do with this. I hope maybe she stole your car and the body, but then you wrote a song recently about some girl named Celeste. So you looking suspect number one. Your career is a wrap. I don't know why would you unalive, but like I said, we can't. This is all based upon what we know. It appears that you were complicit in girl, and since you said it was demonic, it almost make you wonder, was she a sacrifice? These young people today, I mean, did y'all hear about? I don't have the story pulled up, but did y'all hear about the fifth grade girls who was going to unalive a little boy? I said, I know children can be disturbed at any age. Okay, remember the girls who took their friend in the woods and tried to kill her, stabbed her because the slender man told them to? Well, these little girls got mad. Now, first of all, y'all need to sit your little hot tails down. So when you're in the fifth grade, there's too many boys that you're going to come across in your lifetime, and men. Okay? So I guess what the little boy, from what I understand, uh, had cheated on one of the other girls in the group, and they decided they were going to unalive him. But another little girl was in the restroom when they were conspiring to commit this crime, and she went and told, the teachers and staff what was going on, and the police came and arrested these children for plotting on murder. Where they're gonna three tab him. I don't know. I don't know. I just found out this story. My friend inboxed me. I didn't research. That's why I said haven't researched that. So I really don't know. But it's just, I don't know. Let me see. I had posted some stuff on my timeline that I wanted to talk about. Oh, and Cardi B also has a Janet Jackson feature on her new album, Am I the Drama? I don't know yet. Cardi, why she have to get pregnant? We ready for a tour. Okay, we ready for a tour. But I don't think we gonna get that anytime soon. I'm sorry, y'all. The Emmys was this past weekend. I think it was this past weekend, right? But you know how they do the in memoriam, and Holly Robinson Pete. Now I want to know too. I want to know like Holly. Why was Danielle Spencer left out of the in memoriam, and then the Emmys talking about, oh, we put it uh, on the extended version in online? No, we want to see it on TV. She was an important part of television history. She was part of what's happening. She was a child actress, and she went on to bigger and better things. Yeah, Danielle Spencer. She went on to bigger and better things. She became a veterinarian. Unfortunately, her health did not allow her to continue out practicing. As we know, cancer is what ultimately took her. I believe it started out as breast cancer and then it metastasized into something else. So may she continue to rest in peace. What else did I want to talk about? Because I was pissed today when I saw that. I was like, y'all done already got Colbert, but now y'all gonna come out. Oh, the NFL. Rolling Stone published an article. So apparently, over the weekend and Monday, some of these sports teams decided that they need to have a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk. Jerry, they always forgetting someone. You would think they would have a list. Exactly, they do have a list, but they talking about they put it on the online version. We don't want to see that online. So y'all know civil rights is problematic for some people with privilege and hatred in their hearts. Colin Kaepernick lost his entire NFL career for taking a stand on, you know, police killings of blacks and other minorities, right? So now, uh, you know what else I just thought about? Y'all know how dude was shot on September 10th? And the next day was a day in American history that will always be remembered in our hearts. And especially if you saw it in real time, September 11th. But then you wanted the flags flown half staff for him, but not for the victims of 9/11. Make that make sense. Suspicious. Um, so let's see. After a Thursday night football showdown between the Washington Commanders and the Green Bay Packers on September 11th, the day after Kirk's death, featured a moment of silence for the activist. Um, and it was a league decision, according to the NFL. Teams hosting games on Sunday were left to decide for themselves. And you know, I will never not doubt that the Texas teams would do this. Um, but the Titans, the Chiefs, my beloved Cowboys, Jerry, you gotta go. Uh, Cardinals, the Dolphins. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Yes, girl, they call him an activist. And the Jets all had a moment of silence. But you know who didn't have it? The Vikings, the Steelers, the Colts, the Bengals, Lions, and Ravens. And one Ravens fan was outraged. And he will no longer be supporting the Ravens. Baby, I don't think your little coin's gonna count for nothing. Bye. And then the Lions supporter was glad they didn't do it. So when Colin Kaepernick protested police brutality, he got canceled. But y'all going, let me tell you something. We need a national ban on media. We need to boycott television. Number one, we definitely need to boycott Disney ABC until they bring Jimmy Kimmel back. We definitely need to protest CBS, Paramount, Viacom. Lord knows I'm a hate not being able to watch BET, Child, and some of these other networks. But they need and if you got cable, we should just cancel cable and just watch Netflix. They seem safe. They always seem to be on the rise. Although some of the decisions about this, you can't share passwords, sucks. But okay. Excuse me. I'm appalled. I'm like, but see, had it been for someone, let's like see, like if they had a moment of silence for George Floyd, which I don't know if they did, that was a very dark time in America. Um, Angry Wig would have been mad. I mean, oh, and I don't know how true this is, but I'm going to go down a rabbit hole and probably talk about this on Friday. But Charlie Kirk's wife used to be a pageant girl for Angry Wig, right? So now all the connections are starting to come together. And she would also recruit girls for, it's been alleged in this piece that I read on Instagram threads that she would recruit. And so the undercurrent of this article made it seem, I'm not saying she is in no way, but one could infer and speculate that she is basically the equivalent of Ghislaine Maxwell, if you follow me. Which is why people are now conspiracy theorists are speculating, hell, did Angry Wig even really have anything to do with the hell? Is she on the Epstein list as a recruiter? It gotta wonder. Okay. So, Erica, baby, if I were you, I would tread lightly because if they find out anything about you, they're going to tear you up. You will not get any love. So, if I were you, I would lay low and love on them precious babies that you got that I am praying, praying, pull a Kelly Conway daughter and go the other way. Okay? I pray they go the other way because this world hate got us here. We need more love and understanding. We need to come together and just accept the fact that the world does not revolve around y'all. And I don't know if y'all really thought that, black women especially, we said we not coming outside. I don't come outside anyway. I vote. I work on political campaigns. I disseminate information. I research and try to provide truth and facts. But you won't catch me outside protesting. That's never been my jam. Okay? And we're not. We're staying hydrated. We're continuing to educate ourselves. Thank you, Verizon. Thank you, Harvard, for looking out for us because some of us won't be able to afford to go to school anymore because they definitely don't want us to become more educated than a community college dropout and a cheat. Angry weed. His sister told all his business, child. She said he'd do his homework. So anyway, that's what's going on. And I don't remember if I gave a shout out, but I want to give congratulations to one of my favorite senators, Cory Booker. He's engaged. I thought it was gonna be me. Actually, we thought it might be someone else, but because who was he dating? Rosario Dawson at one point, and then he got with some lady. I don't know what her name is, but she cute. She looked just like Rosario. And also, Devon Franklin is Penelope. I wasn't gonna say that because I don't want to be disrespectful, but I suspect that is his preference. You know, somebody said it's serving lavender. I don't know that man, and I don't know what he do. Just because you 50 some years old and single, I don't know. People might think I'm gay because I ain't been married yet. Okay, I don't even have no children. I got fur babies and godchildren. I love men. So, anyway, Penelope said my bad. And then Devon Franklin has since remarried. As you know, his former wife, his ex-wife, Megan Good, moved on to Jonathan Majors. And honey, when I tell you they love each other down, baby, that's true love right there. I never judged it. I said because I can see the good in people and know that, for instance, please don't cancel me. But one of the problems I have is the lack of second chances for the likes of people like Chris Brown. To this day, I have friends that will say he's the most despicable person on earth. And you gonna cancel me? Please don't cancel me. But there's something about Chris. Something happened to him in the industry. He was what, 13, 14? But at the same time, Rihanna was the aggressor, and she has told her story. He has told his story. She accused him of cheating. She started hitting on him. I think at one point she bit him. And he took the hit because he didn't want her career. He sacrificed. Now, how he did Carucci was low down and dirty, but again, like I said, something happened to Chris in the industry. Just like all these other children you see out here, these former child stars running around here acting crazy and doing drugs and running them down the street butt naked and cracked out their minds. Child. But he looked good. He'll be here this weekend in Vegas, and I'm seriously, if I can find a cheap ass ticket, I might just take my little happy self on down there. I can't afford the meet and greet, baby, but you know, you know. He looked like what? He looked better because for a while there, I said, Lord, please don't take my child. Because I consider him like my son, not someone I would want to get with. I'm like, please, I know he got a mama, but I feel like, girl, you need to get your son together. He probably will listen to you, but then too, you probably don't want to get your money cut off. Some of these people don't want to tell their children when they out of line. But I love me some Chris Brown, and I also know he has an issue. But I've seen his mom. His mom is gorgeous. So um, but anyway, he looks better than what he had been. Cause girl, at one point I was like, baby, you ain't on no Zempic, is you? No, I know what no Zempic. Um, Speaking of which, y'all, I gotta finish the Charlie Sheen documentary. But Kev on stage came out and was talking about the Charlie Sheen documentary, and they said that the family got the drug dealer that he was going to for crack to reduce the potency over time for crack, so much so until Charlie just decided, you know what, crack just isn't for me. It doesn't get me high anymore. And so he moved on. But despite him being HIV positive and a drug addict, Charlie actually looks really good considering what he's been through. Let us never forget when he called Denise Richard the hard R. I said, he was really cracked out of his mind. And it's interesting that he continued to, yes, girl, that was when, I think that was the era of him saying he got tiger blood, which some of us speculate, which I don't know if he talks about it on the documentary, but we speculate that that he that's when he found out he was HIV positive and he just lost his damn mind and just went off. Yes, girl. I can't remember what year that was, and we were all looking like Charlie. But you can't help but love Charlie Sheen. You just like it was drugs. And his very best friend, is black, and he has never drank or done drugs. They're into sports together. They grew up together. Sean Penn speculates that the reason why Charlie Sheen has behaved the way that he has over the years is because he questions whether he even deserves what has been given. And when he gets it, he destroys it because he just can't believe that something good is happening to him, basically. And I can see that there's lots of people out there that will engage in reckless behavior because they just don't think that they are deserving, that they are an awful person. And the thing about it is, it seemed like he was well raised, and Lord knows Martin Sheen did everything he could to save his son with his little self. Emilio is short as hell. I saw Emilio one time. I went to a screening for one of the movies that he produced. I looked at him. I was like, oh my God. Like, you damn near come to my damn breast. Like, what the hell? Oh, no, Emilio is not acting. Emilio was always, because what is he? Emilio is the one of the older brothers, I think. Yeah, he's older. So it's four of them. Five. Three boys and two girls, I think. Or three boys and one girl. I can't remember. But I don't ever really see. But Martin Sheen is just a screen name because their real last name is Estevez. And Charlie Estevez, he felt like didn't roll off the tongue. Let me see, how many children does Martin Sheen have? Martin Estevez. I remember Al Pacino mentioned how when I think of them, I think of Martin Sheen, Al Pacino, Bobby De Niro. Uh, well, if they're from Spain, they are white. They're European, if that's their heritage. Yeah. Emilio took on the family last name, Emilio Estevez, because it flows off the tongue. But remember, in Hollywood, a lot of people's names are not their names. Like a lot of Jewish actors change their names. Um, a lot of European actors will change their names to make it more Americanized. That's the one thing I don't like about America because I'm guilty of it too. Oh shit. Like at work, I don't go by Afia because people butcher my name. I go by my initials because I'm just like, y'all cannot pronounce my name. Like, I wrote somebody recently and I had to take in the subject line and respell my name because I'm like, my name is not Alfia, it's Afia. So, oh Lord, it's a lot. And then, yeah, Afia. But I'm Afia, Sophia, Ophelia, honey, you name it. Okay, no, it's four Estevez children. Charlie, Ramon, Emilio, and Renee. Charlie is the one who changed his name for acting purposes to Sheen like his dad. So, Martin Sheen's real name is Ramon Gerard Antonio Estevez. Okay? He's 85 years old. And let's see. Oh, he's a Leo. Mm, yeah. So his dad was Spanish. So they're of Spanish descent. So they're from Spain. The descendants of Spaniards basically. But anyways, I think that's all I want to talk about. But we, the people, need to come up with a plan where we don't have to go outside, of course, but we need to start boycotting networks. We'll just have to get our news from Europe at this point because this is ridiculous. ABC, Disney, ESPN, all affiliated. Fox, Fox News, Fox Sports, Paramount. Yeah, because see, they need those streaming dollars. Advertisers aren't going to do business with you if ain't nobody watching. They might as well put it on the radio or on the internet. They can spend their marketing dollars there. Because that's how they make their money, is through marketing and licensing. So I don't know what to do at this point, but I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna find out where Brendan Carr is licensed to practice. We need to file complaints on Pam Bundy because she is definitely not a good attorney and she does not deserve to be able to practice law. Although, if you are the Attorney General of the United States, you do not have to be licensed to practice. But one day you ain't gonna have no job, girl, and you're gonna need to practice law or do something. Maybe you can work in the. You ain't even compliant. You can't even be a compliance or a risk manager. That's sad. I just want a day where we all refuse to go to work. I mean, I honestly think if we could get away with it a week. My job now offers unlimited PTO. Do you know how long I've been praying for a job with unlimited PTO? I was trying to go work for the Virgin companies with Sir Richard Branson because they've always offered unlimited PTO because he believes in you having that flexibility. I wanted him to be my boss. I'm still available, by the way. Sir Richard Branson. It is a trap, and there are two reasons why they do it. Number one, if you quit, you don't have anything accumulated, therefore, they do not have to pay it out. The thing that sucks is those parties in states where PTO is regulated are getting these huge payouts. But those of us in Nevada don't. But if you live in California and a couple of other states, you will be getting it. Congratulations, you basically got a bonus. Also, there are people who have to be forced to take PTO. Like one of my coworkers, his boss made him take a day off because he refuses to take off. He just wants to work. I don't like, I don't, but I do like the option because, like, for instance, when I first started my job, week 3, I was down for the count. I was down for the count. I ended up catching the flu. Now, I don't know if I caught it just because of being in the office environment or if I caught it from someone at the Beyonce concert, Cowboy Carter, night 2, Vegas. Um, Girl, no, wait a minute. Back in the day, at this one job I was at, yes, I had the flu type A. Yep, yep. Never had the flu in my life, but that was wild. I was like, I've never had the flu. I've had upper respiratory infections, such as bronchitis and sinusitis, but I've never had the flu. And I knew something was wrong. At one point, one of my friends was like, "Do I need to call the ambulance to come get you?" I was like, "No." But I really could not get up. Like, I kept passing out. I kept, like, falling asleep and waking up, and hours would have passed. And so I finally got up and went to urgent care. And, week 3 on the new job. And I'm like, oh my God, I hope they don't be mad at me or looking crazy at me because I'm not faking. Like, I really am sick. And so unlimited PTO would definitely work for me because, when you're new, you really don't have a lot of PTO. And if you get sick, you're kind of screwed and you end up in the negative. I know that when I was at another bank, they had where you could buy extra days. So I was at Chuck E. Cheese, got home, didn't get out of bed for 2 weeks. Yeah, it will take you down. And like, I was fine after, getting some rest and stuff. But it's like you get sick for a week and then you have to recover for a week. So I was still going to work, but it just drained me. I had no energy whatsoever. Um, but anyways, oh no, I'm fine now. But let's see, I I've been on the job 2 months now. So the first 3 weeks, the week 3 of my, yeah, I got sick. I was a diva down, honey. But I'm fine now. I just think that just to share with you women and men you can listen to, I think I'm probably there. I'm trying to get my doctors established here in Vegas, but I think my first appointment needs to be an OBGYN because I think, no, I never get flu shots. Never. Mm-mm. I've never gotten a flu shot. The only time that I think I may have gotten a flu shot, uh, back when I joined the military back in the late 90s, they gave us like our vaccines. And I don't know if maybe they vaccinated us for the flu as well, which would make sense, if they did. But all I know is that there's, you know, medical personnel to your right, medical personnel to your left. The girls got 2 shots in each arm, 2 shots, so 4 shots, 2 shots in each arm simultaneously. The men said they got a fifth one. That's the only time I got it, a flu shot too in Iraq. So I probably did get it, but I didn't get sick. What was my MOS? My first MOS, because I was a reservist, my first MOS I trained for was 95 Bravo. And I don't know if they changed the codes, but that's military police officer. Then I changed my MOS to what I really wanted because my recruiter didn't know. But I'm glad I went through the training because it showed me that I'm tougher than what I thought I was. Because I was never an athlete, honey. The most I ever did was volleyball, and that was in junior high. And I ran cross country track my freshman year of high school. Oh, and I did do the girls' rowing team my one semester of my first semester of my sophomore year in college. And then my other one was 71 Delta legal specialist, JAG Corps. Those are my two. So, um, and I am, I'm a vet. So, uh, but I definitely, if I could have done things differently, I definitely would have joined the Air Force. You said, "Oh, that's cute." I wanted to be a lawyer, and I told my recruiter that because I left college after my I finished one semester my junior year, and I took my second semester off and then came back. Yeah, I wish I joined the Air Force. I did Army. I definitely was not going to do Marine Corps, baby. And I'm glad I did not train with them because they had to come to our schools to train for MP school. Oh my God. Oh my God. Fort McClellan, they've since decommissioned that base, but up until, yeah, I was there in 98, February. Ooh, it was cold. Oh, it was cold in Alabama. And yeah, so yeah. But I probably will be back Friday night. Hopefully, nothing else falls out the sky. Uh, the uniform is nice, but that mental break that they do to you, 12 weeks of total control for basic training. No, can't talk, can't do nothing unless they tell you to talk. I'm sure people talked in the bays, of course, but as far as no. Mm-mm. Um, 12 weeks of total control. That's what they call it. The Army, they started letting up. Every 2 weeks, they would give you a little bit more privilege every 2 weeks during basic training. But I had to do my basic training and job school all with the same place with the same drill sergeants because that's how the Army set it up for us. And then when I did my 71 Delta training, I was at Fort Jackson in South Carolina. That was fun because I was considered regular Army, so I didn't have to go through the bullshit everybody else is going through. Poor little privates, I feel bad for them. Anyway, I'm gonna get off of here, y'all, because I've been Miss Sophia the Diva, a proud veteran who has served this country and who still believes in the Constitution. And I believe in you too. Thank you. This has been a Diva Disturb. What's happening? Good night.